Hey guys, it's Asian with another Vet Dungeon guide. This one is Darkshade Caverns 1 on Vet Hard Mode. I am healing. We have Say and I, Mr. Say as DPS, and Wardark is our tank. As usual, we're going to skip past the trash mobs and return the video to normal speed to explain boss mechanics, and then we will speed through the remainder of the boss fight once we finish explaining the boss mechanics. This dungeon is pretty easy, pretty straightforward. It's a nice one to start with if this is your first time doing vet dungeons. The first boss is back at the end of this tunnel here. She will come with a bunch of ads, so just burn the ads down. Oh, no, I'm going to skip ahead to that. She's pretty much your standard fire mage or healing mage. She will heal herself. She does the line of fire that can be interrupted, and she casts fire runes on the ground. Nothing too serious. Here we accidentally pull some of the mobs from the corridor we're supposed to go down next. Those mobs don't normally come with the boss fight if you're careful about your AoEs. Right, you're going to fight some trash mobs here, and this boss will pop out from the next door. He is slightly annoying to deal with, but pretty easy overall. Mechanics are not that bad. He will randomly throw a poison ball and create a poison AoE on the ground at a random player. He'll run around, making it a little bit annoying on the tank to keep aggro. You can just follow him around. He doesn't teleport, he just runs to his next spot. He does have an AoE centered on himself that does a knockback. You can block through it or dodge it like Wardark did. It's up to you. If you do block it, it will still knock you backwards. He will summon ads during this fight. Some of the Quama squibs, just burn them down. They're not terribly dangerous, even on vet. Just be aware of where the poison circles are, because they do last for a long period of time. One thing to keep note of, the Quama workers, even though they are yellow, they will become aggressive to you after you pull the Quama champion, and there will always be a Quama champion with the Quama workers. So even though they're yellow, you might as well attack them anyways, because they're just going to become aggressive once you hit the Quama fighter or champion. The Netches are non-aggressive and will only become aggressive if you attack them. This is the next boss, the Hive Lord. He has a frontal AoE cone, so your DPS and healer will want to stay behind the boss. He will sometimes dig on the ground and summon little Quama squib ads, burn them down, not too dangerous. He will randomly jump towards one person. The tank cannot taunt that. That will stun the person and anybody nearby the person that he jumped to. You just saw his other attack, which is probably the most dangerous one, which is the large ground pound attack. The tank will have to interrupt that. Wardark did not know that, so we kind of kited around the edge of it, but you can interrupt it and it will stop the ground pound. The tank can block through it, DPS and healer cannot. This is the next boss, which is the Bull Netch. Very, very easy. All he does is he will create his Netch fart on the ground at a random spot. Just avoid it. That's it. Other than that, just tank and spank him. The poison does last for a while, so just be aware of that. It will target a random person. Tank can't do anything about that. Once you kill this boss, you have two options. Go to the left for the final boss or to the right. You have to fight them both if you're doing the quest. When you fight the final boss, you're going to have to take care of some of the ads here. They're just Dwemer spiders and Dwemer spheres. Pretty easy. Just burn them down. No rush. Once you finish off the ads, the Centurion will spawn. He's back there. He will run to the tank. And there are 3 phases that he goes through. They are not in order. In any particular order, he changes to them randomly. The first phase is that when he turns yellow, and he just basically gets a cleave attack that does a front AoE cone, which does some massive damage. As you see here, it's pretty much a one-shot to everybody except the tank. While I'm dead here, he turns into the next phase where he turns blue, and you can see here he just rains lightning down on random persons I believe it is whoever's doing the most DPS to him at the time, but it could be random. You also saw that there were some Dwemer spiders with green circles. Those heal the boss, but the boss will not move towards them specifically. When the boss turns red, he will do his whirlwind attack. He just targets a random person, follows them around, tries to chop them up. So general strategy here is for the tank to keep aggro during the yellow phase. DPS, just burn as much as you can during the blue phase. In the red phase, just whoever is targeted, kite around the boss. For those of you who run dungeons a lot, you'll notice that he basically does the same thing as the Trinity does, the final boss on Volenfell dungeon. And when you are kiting the red phase, just keep out of those Dwemer spiders healing orbs so he doesn't heal. You don't have to kill them, you can if you want to. When you finish, you gotta kill the guy by the door for the quest. This is the boss. It's an optional boss if everybody's completed the quest. If you need to hand in the quest, you still have to fight him. He's just a Dwemer Sphere who does his spinny attack like that and will target, it will follow the person he's targeting. Tank can block through it, or he can just take the hits. Doesn't hit too badly even on vet. And we'll skip past this fight. Once you finish this fight, the hand in the quest, the final quest giver is just at the top of these stairs here. To the right, there she is, if you want to turn the quest. And that is basically it. Darkshade Caverns, very easy dungeon, very nice to start off with if it's your first time starting vet dungeons. Hard mode is also not that difficult, just gives the boss more health and hits a little bit harder. Alright, thanks for watching, I'll see you at the next dungeon.